Karl Froch in the snakeskin print trunks has a very important date coming up on March the 12th when he challenges Tony Dodson for the British super middleweight title. Froch is already the English super middleweight champion, and this is a contest he certainly can't take for granted. His opponent is the 28-year-old from Minsk, the capital of Belarus, and he's Dzmitry Adamovich, who's as much a light heavyweight and sometimes even a cruiserweight than a super middleweight. Last time we saw him, he came unstuck against Robin Reid just before Christmas, or away last October, I should say, when Robin Reid was tuning up for his world title challenge. And he's short and he's chunky and he's a southpaw, and although he's giving away a couple of inches in height and reach to the angular Froch, Duke Mackenzie, he's some 6 pounds heavier at 12'8" as opposed to Froch's 12'2".
Yeah, he's a lot bigger physically than Karl Froch. You know, Froch is an exceptional talent, obviously. Very, very relaxed, hands down by his side. You know, this has to be considered to be a mark-in-time fight for Froch because he's got this British Championship fight coming up.
Good solid right hand went in from Karl Froch, who won the vacant English super middleweight title in November of last year in one of his toughest contests so far. A very impressive performance, stopping the previously unbeaten Mancunian Alan Page. And that was a real toughie for Froch. Good work in this opening round by Froch against a man who is more experienced, although they started boxing about the same time, March a couple of years ago. And Adamovich has been beaten every time he stepped up to the plate against better boxers, and let's see just how good Froch is. Left hand from Adamovich wasn't too far away, and as always, Duke, and it just worried the pants off me, Froch with that left hand of his, very low indeed.
Well, you know, I spoke to him recently at an event, and he said that that's just how he likes it. He likes to be nice and loose, nice and you know, just very cool in his approach to what he's doing. And you know, okay, against guys like this, he'll get away with it, but he's fully aware of his own ability.
Well, Robin Reid stopped this fellow in 4, and Froch is doing his best to stop him in 1, and down goes Adamovich. That was as sweet and as concerted an assault that Karl Froch has put in his not quite 2-year professional career. And remember, he was out for some 6 months last year to have a knee operation. Wonderful footwork by Froch. Just moved out of the way and caught his man, not quite flush in the jaw, but with plenty behind it. And Froch really looks the business tonight. And I'm wondering if Tony Dodson sees this, will he, well, work out what exactly is in store for him come the 12th of March. A fight, incidentally, you can see with us here on BBC television. And Froch really looks impressive. There's a bit of blood coming from the Russian's nose, and he's gone down again at the end of the round. Dave Paris, who did the Michael Sprott Danny Williams fight, will continue the count. Adamovich holds up his hands and says he's okay. I'm not sure that he is okay, but what an impressive last 30 seconds, Duke, from Karl Froch.
Well, the confidence is coming out of Froch now. It's quite incredible. Now he's got a championship behind him. He's really fancy. He's got such belief in everything that he does. Every punch that he throws has got real venom behind it.
Well, he really teed his man up. Every single shot was picked to perfection, and this was the knockdown coming up. Good shots into the ribs, and Adamovich was really starting to wobble. Froch threw him round, and there was a right hand went round, and a second one came in, and Froch was merciless in that attack.
Down the jab.
Well, this is very much a man won the proverbial mission, Karl Froch.
Okay? Yeah, don't get anxious, just keep them flowing. Side to side, let's go.
So Karl Froch, the current English super middleweight champion, former double ABA middleweight champion, bronze medalist in the World Championships in 2001 in Belfast. Really fulfilling all the promise of that amateur career in the early stage of his professional career, and against a pretty tough character. Froch is looking very, very impressive indeed. Adamovich's guard is being held very low. That right hand of his is not really protecting himself when he throws it. He leaves it away from him.
He certainly does. You know, these supposedly marking time fights can often work out to be harder than what they are, but Froch is just treating this guy with utter contempt.
Well, this guy has been in with some pretty useful fellas. A good Russian light heavyweight, Denis Lebedev. Good right hand by Froch. He's not letting this fellow away. He wants to get this over with pretty quickly. He doesn't want to have to do 8 rounds, and it's been stopped by Dave Parris. A thundering shot into the ribs, and I think Adamovich is quite badly hurt. And that was the meanest and most purposeful I think I've seen Carl Froch.
Well, again, you know, when you pick up a championship of any description, you go to the next level, and that's exactly what we're seeing from Froch right now. He's gone to that next level. You know, we thought we had confidence before, but what he's demonstrated tonight was just, like I say, he treated this guy with utter contempt. He just knew he had his measure.
Well, Mick Hennessy will be pretty pleased with that, as indeed with Carl Froch. And he did in just over 2 rounds what it took Robin Reid 4 rounds to do. Away last October in Adamovich's last fight. He'll not want to come up against too many British super middleweights in the near future, I'm quite sure. And Froch really finished it in considerable and very hurtful style. The right went straight through, and Adamovich knew that the nose was gone and his resolve was gone, and Froch was not going to let him off the hook. And look at Froch manoeuvring himself into a position where he could unleash some really hurtful punches, and Adamovich decided to go down on his knee, and Dave Parris was poised to stop this before the man from Minsk in Belarus got hurt any more than he was at the moment. Great finish by a very, very purposeful Carl Froch.
Carl, I've rarely seen you so keen to get on with it. Why was that tonight?
Well, I've trained hard for the fight, and I've got a few days off before the 6-week solid preparation for Dodson, so I wanted to get in there and just show people what I can do.
I mean, in fairness, he didn't come back with much. Would you have wanted more of a test with the British title fight coming up?
Maybe, but tests come with risks, so we couldn't take any risks to get any cuts or anything. Not that I cut, but you never know. I've got 6 weeks. I'm fighting for the British title, which is the biggest fight of my life to date, so we didn't want to take any unnecessary risks. But he was a good, decent, durable opponent. He took Robin Reid 4 rounds, and I got in there and just wiped the floor with him. I wasn't even out of first gear, so it's just a little message and a word of warning there to the current British champion, Dodson.
We saw the fight against Robin Reid on the BBC. Did that make you more determined to do it even quicker?
Well, it did and it didn't. I knew it would always look good if I got him out there a little bit earlier, but I didn't want to compete with, because styles make fights. It don't make a real big difference, but like I say, I got it out there earlier, and it is obviously a little bit more impressive than what he did. So I'll take a good deal of confidence away with that.